What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping another episode of the Take It Home podcast. Hope you guys are having a great time. Um, I noticed that the last episode the audio was off, and that was when I was talking about the Forbidden Door. So my bad for that. I apologize. I had issues with my microphone and with the speaker on my laptop. So a lot of it sounds wonky and a lot of it is clear. So I'm talking a little bit louder because my wife is washing clothes or whatever like that. So I'm gonna try to not be long with this video because I did stop it. So hopefully she don't look at this video. But anyway, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you let me do my plugs, right? So you guys know I'm gonna be in Wisconsin, July 23rd for Runaway Train. This is the new flyer. Shout out to them and everything they're doing. We're in Appleton, Wisconsin at the American Legion. It's gonna be a wonderful and a great show. I've been having a lot of fun there, so you guys definitely don't want to miss that. It's a flea market that's before the show as well. It's gonna be a great time. I'm going against this gargantuan fellow in Kodiak, and I have to discuss plans and how I'm going to defeat this behemoth of a man. And if you guys do not know, this is why I have to get even.
Boo! Boo!
So yeah, I get my hands on July 23rd. Every time I look at that, I get more frustrated than what I already am. But okay, so tune in for that, July 23rd. And then a week later, July 30th, C3 Ultimate Wrestling, we are back for our first show of the year, Kingdom Come. It will be in Crown Point, Indiana. It will be a later show. We start at 7. We start at 7:30. Doors open at 7. We are at On the Score Sports Academy in Crown Point. I'm going to give more details on how to park because there is a certain way to park. It's only walking distance, and I don't want a lot of people just leaving. We've already announced 2 matches so far. We have the Cobra versus the Ewok. Y'all know I don't like the Ewok. Y'all know I respect the Cobra. Me and Cobra, we have traded 2 classic matches. If you guys can find it, I know I uploaded one, and then there's like another one on the NXW page and a company we previously wrestled at. The Ewok, I was supposed to get my hands on him a while ago too, but due to certain things and circumstances, it didn't happen. But he will be there. I will be there, and hopefully he knows he needs to focus on the Cobra, not me. Second match announced was Cassidy Keith versus myself, Classic Alpha. This was supposed to happen as well. We're going to do it. You know, I don't like how he said stuff to me and talked about how he was going to hit me. I hit back. I might hit harder. I'm going to hit harder. You know, like I said, I'm a nice person, but when it's in the ring, I'm always at the home court advantage. So I got to show you guys that I'm no joke. You know, I like to make people laugh and everything like that, but this is no laughing matter. So I have to make an example out of my boy Cassidy, and I also have to use him as an example to tell the Ewok that I'm not nothing to mess with as well, because he will be there. Make sure you follow me or subscribe to the socials that I have up here now. Shout out to you guys who have been already. You guys know I'm more active on Facebook, on all forms of social media. We want to do parties and stuff like that. We want to get everything together, book us for the event, birthday party, school events, block parties, like let us know. And we'll try to work with you guys and everything like that. Hit me up on the phone or on the email. Shout out to Kev, who's the host of Kingdom Come. Shout out to him. Make sure you see this logo, you follow, you subscribe to it on his YouTube page, Yellow Pill Coffee Company. It's a lot of topics, not really controversial. It's just a lot of people have takes, and he's very honest, and he does not hold back. All right. I add myself to the video. All right. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Hope everything is going right with you guys as I'm trying to set some stuff up. All right. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful thing. So I'm trying to get in and get out because I did stop these clothes because I do not want to hear that static when I'm talking because I do listen to my playback. All right. The topic of the day is, guys, you don't have to agree with every wrestling take and opinion. Now, we're living in an age where everybody has social media. Your phone is a form of social media because of these social media apps and things that you can do. You can do Twitter, you can do Instagram, Facebook. You can do MySpace if you do MySpace or whatever like that. Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. You do a lot of things where people can say or do dang near anything they want. And with Twitter and with Facebook or with press with articles and stuff, you can make your own website now. A lot of people have takes and opinions on certain things, and you know what, you're entitled to that. I think the issue is when you try to make people agree with you as if they can't have their own opinion on anything. Shout out to Rashawn Crickly Drinking. Shout out to you, man. Very knowledgeable young man, gentleman, sir. God bless you. And I see it a lot as not only a fan of wrestling, but also an observer. I watch a lot of wrestling from other companies and stuff like that. And sometimes I do sit back and I do look at like some comments and stuff to see what people head is at and stuff like that. I know you guys remember when I was doing car vlogs for a long time. And shout out to you, Zach. We're talking about when people do not have to agree with everything that somebody says or a hot take on anything with wrestling or a hot take. Just because somebody says it doesn't mean you have to agree with it just because you're trying to prove a point on something. I'm going to elaborate more on that. No, not my show. My show is we're still good. We're still good, sir. So if you want to come back and watch it, you're more than welcome to. If you want to sit and chill and listen to it, that's fine and dandy. God bless. So, excuse me. So a couple, I believe last year, I made a video. It was a car vlog, and I was doing car vlogs for a long time. I was saying that what is a hardcore wrestling fan? That was the video I made because I was always curious to what people were talking about because especially when like AEW, especially around All Out and stuff like that, like it was a big deal in professional wrestling. So a lot of fans who were fans of AEW and some stands, if you want to say, or worshipers or whatever, or what's that called, tribals, the AEW tribe. There's a WWE tribe as well. So let's get that out the way. Not to say I'm somebody checking for me because you ain't. So a lot of comments would say, oh, well, AEW is for true hardcore wrestling fans and WWE is not for true hardcore wrestling fans. So I was always like, well, what is a wrestling fan? Like, what is a hardcore wrestling fan? And when they say it, I get what they're saying, but sometimes they don't even elaborate great enough on the topic, if that makes sense. It's just like, okay, now I understand what they're saying. They're saying they're more savvy on wrestlers. They may know a wrestler schedule, if you will. They may look at independent. They may go to a show. They may be a fan and take pictures and stuff like that. They have knowledge on the locker room and stuff like that. But just because you have all of that, it does not mean that you're more of a hardcore fan than a kid or a man or woman who doesn't want to look at the behind the scenes and who don't want to go to meet and greets and who don't want to know the terminology in the locker room. You do have fans, hard to believe, I know. You do have fans that don't want to know that stuff, like even with movies and stuff. Sometimes people don't want to look at the behind the scenes stuff. Some people just want to enjoy the show. So to say that you're a hardcore fan because of that, I think you have to say it a little bit better. You get what I'm saying? And maybe if you want to say like the demographic and stuff like that, because the irony in this again is when everybody says one company is better than another company, somebody from a company or somebody who supports a company always say ratings. And then now all of a sudden ratings was nothing. But we forget that when the demo, I didn't even know much about a demo until Jericho was saying in the demo guide, the 18 to 49 age range, and they were doing good. And they were like, they were doing a little bit better than WWE's products and stuff. And they were saying that that's what counted. So I'm like, this is why ratings will always be important. because people then they talked about it, and then when WWE actually started beating AEW with the demo, it went silent because that was a narrative that people were running with. You even had a lot of wrestling companies, not companies, wrestling Facebook pages that were running with it. You know, shout out to Jericho for even doing something like that, for even doing that, and it worked because a lot of people were on there saying, oh, well, they had more viewers, WWE did, but AEW had the demo, the hardcore fans and stuff like that. But then as soon as WWE started catching up or start beating them on this little demo that everybody keeps talking about, it's silent. You rarely hear anything about it. You do still see things about ratings because the numbers in the companies have been up and down. AEW's been hitting some low numbers. Raw and SmackDown, they hit low numbers, but not as low as AEW shows or anything like that. So that's the thing. It's just the take on it, you know. Ratings is only, it's like ironic to me that a lot of people would say, oh, well, ratings don't matter, but then let Dynamite beat Raw or SmackDown in ratings and people will post. The same people will post and say, okay, I told you guys that AEW is better. And then, like I said, I'm not here to defend WWE. I'm not here to defend AEW neither. It's just that that's okay. If you want to say that they have better wrestlers to you, that's your opinion. Some people can even push for a fact. If you want to watch it, you want to watch it or whatever like that. But sometimes if you're talking about certain things, and if you are a fan of it, sometimes some stuff do stink. Some stuff do stink on both companies. And, you know, we'll say WWE has more rotten stuff. If you want to, that's your opinion. You know, with me, I think both of them can do a lot better than what they're doing. To be 100% honest with you, I think with WWE, they have repetitive stuff. But AEW also has repetitive stuff. But the thing is, one of them, some people like to say is boring, and then others are long-term storytelling. Not a knock on nobody, but some of the stuff is very repetitive. You cannot put that rug of long-term storytelling over it. The only one you could really say that for is maybe if FTR and Young Bucks go against each other and stuff like that. You know, they're rolling long-term storytelling with that's my kids upstairs. Long-term storytelling with like stuff that they were doing in other companies, right? And ROH at the time, and New Japan, and the Independents or whatever like that. You're rolling a whole bunch of stuff, and some stuff is consistent, which is good, and some stuff is inconsistent, and it's just like you cannot keep saying long-term storytelling. And then when some people are legit say, I don't understand what's going on, could you give me a few seconds on what's going on? People will be like, no, you got to watch this match. Don't nobody want to do that. Sometimes you do have to give people a heads up, especially if they're trying to become a fan or whatever like that. You know, if you start watching the second movie first, I don't know if people do that. You might want to ask somebody, hey, what happened in the first? And then a quick thing. Sometimes people will say, watch it. And sometimes you have to summarize what's going on. So that's my thing with even the term long-term storytelling. That's actually a good topic on the narrative and opinion on long-term storytelling. People would say that Malachi Black and the House of Black, that's long-term storytelling because this thing with his eye and stuff, it started in WWE, and then he had things that he was supposed to do in WWE. They were supposed to help him do stuff. And then all of a sudden he went to AEW, and then he was the hottest thing at one point, right? He was he was doing a program with Cody. Shout out to Zach. AEW's women's division needs help. We're going to talk about that too. I'm glad you said that. Shout out to you, Zach, because I'm going to talk about that as well. Going back into the Malachi Black thing, a lot of people are saying, like, you know, I was a fan of, not saying I'm not a fan, but I was a fan of Alistair, Tommy End, whatever you want to call him. The first time I seen him was NXT, and I like this character or whatever like that. You know, despite the fact that I'm a follower of Christ and stuff like that, and looking at all this demonic stuff that he's doing, and a lot of other stuff is doing. Anything, pray for the world. The continuation was his eye and the eye patch and stuff like that. And then he got Brody King, who is Malachi Triple XL, and then now you got Buddy Matthews and stuff like that. Now they have Julia Hart and stuff like that. And it's like some people are going to say the narrative is long-term storytelling, but it's like, how invested do we have to be? Like, to be honest, their matches with the Death Triangle were okay, but they become repetitive because the same spots over and over. How many times have you seen reverse Ranas? How many times have you seen that spot where Neville puts somebody on top of somebody's shoulder and kicks that person and the person back bumps, flips, dive out spots that are missed, spots that are sloppy and stuff like that. And like I said, it's just, if somebody says, okay, well, I'll wait for something else, that's fine. But to just say long-term storytelling and wait, that's your option to wait, and that's their option to not wait or whatever like that. That's just how I feel about it. And even with WWE, like with this Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar thing, because I told you I'm not on one side or the other. With this thing with Brock Lesnar and Roman, I don't want to see that. But the thing is, that might bring a lot of money. That's going to bring a lot of money. If you don't care about it, stop watching it. And I'm not saying telling you like or advising you, that's your choice or whatever, because I'm probably going to watch it myself. But my take on it is this is long-term storytelling. If we're using that same logic for AEW for a lot of things that are repetitive with Bucks or with the Bucks and the Elite and the Bullet Club and Red Dragon, and we're doing all of this stuff, we're doing the stuff with the Malachi Black and the Eyeball and stuff like that. If we're doing all of that, Jericho and all the factions that he got, if we're going to say that's long-term storytelling, then you definitely for sure got to say that Brock and Roman is long-term storytelling. Is it repetitive? Yes. Can it be special? Maybe. I thought it should have been the most special at WrestleMania this year, but that match was kind of garbage, hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. Like, my thing is, you're going to be a hypocrite or a bigot to somebody, regardless of any walks of life. And wrestling is no different, honestly. Wrestling is no different, because if you like something, just say you like it. I'd rather you say you like it, but then when you see something and it was bad, it was a botch, it wasn't that great, you don't have to defend it and be like, oh, well, WWE do that. I'm like, okay, yes, everybody botches. I mean, I messed up matches. I messed my knee up in a wrestling match before. Stuff happens. I should have practiced. I didn't practice more. So I can sit and say other people can practice certain things. That's fine. That is okay. That doesn't mean I'm attacking the company as itself. Doesn't mean I'm attacking the wrestler. And that's another hot take, is that a lot of some of these wrestlers, they get online and they have a lot of fans that'll do anything for them, but their fans won't say if they need to work on something or not. And I'm not saying you need to listen to the fans or anything like that, but you have a lot of wrestlers, you have a lot of people that's been in the business for years. They're trying to tell you how to do something, and then you shun it. Like even JR, right? JR has been very vocal on certain things, to the point to where he isn't commentating a lot or as much. And this is even from the beginning. I'm going to start these clothes real quick. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I know it's a lot of background noise and stuff like that, but we're gonna go through it. I don't feel like arguing today, but anyway, storytelling, not storytelling. Dang, made me forget what I was about to say. Roman Reigns, but yeah, everybody has their own opinions on certain things and if certain things work or not. But going back to older people, I want to say older people. Let me say veterans, solidified veterans that can help you in the business or can help the company and stuff like that. AEW and WWE have a lot, but with WWE, we all know they have producers and they have a whole bunch of other stuff. Some guys know what they're doing and some people don't. Some people wish that they had more freedom on doing certain things and some do not. Excuse the noise again. I'm really upset about this, but I wanted to start on time. But even like JR and AEW, right? JR has some of the one of the biggest presence, obviously, on the commentating table, and his knowledge for pro wrestling, for being in the business for so long. And he'll be real honest on Twitter, and he'll be very honest on even on commentating table. he'll be very honest on that, on certain things. What is this person doing? What does this person look like? Now, it is funny when he mispronounces names and he calls Jungle Boy Jungle Jack Perry, because that is not his name in wrestling. It is Jungle Boy. But he does that. Now, that's my only gripe about JR. But I remember JR said that Randy Orton was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And AEW fans and even some of the wrestlers were upset with that. So then he had to fix what he said on, I believe it was Double or Nothing that year, and say that if Kenny beats Pac and Orange Cassidy, he will be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And I hated that, because let this man be honest. Maybe there's something that other people can do. Like, if you have a vet like that or other vets and stuff, you should probably talk to them and see if they have time to talk to you about how can you grow and what can you work on and stuff like that. Sometimes, y'all know, sometimes JR looks uninterested sometimes when he's wrestling. I mean, watching wrestling. Like, he looks like I'm not even there. And even when at Forbidden Door, he was going, like, he didn't announce the whole show and stuff because he probably would have mispronounced certain people and stuff like that. But that is the funny thing, is I think somebody like JR or even an Arn Anderson, like some of the older guys, or even a Jake the Snake Roberts, they will have a certain thing to really talk about, certain aspects on people to work on something. And sometimes people don't want to take advantage of that, because we're in the social media era, an era to where people say, hey, I'm getting paid, I'm getting booked, I made it. I don't need to listen to nobody. I don't need to grow. And then when you see their matches, even on Dark, I'm looking at Dark now, I'm like, man, some of this stuff would look good if it was actually cleaned up and polished. But everybody has an ego now, because it's easier for people to be booked. Some people don't ask, where did you train at? Some people don't ask, what are you doing? How are you doing this and stuff? How long you been in the business? A lot of people don't say this kind of stuff because people are trying to make money at the end of the day. But you're going to wind up losing money if people are very, very unsafe. Okay. Another take. I'm going to go into what Zach said. Shout out to him. Zach said that the AEW women's division need help. Now, I'm not going to say just them, but yes, for the topic at hand, I do think the women division needs help, and I think they need a lot of help. It was good news to hear that women like Jade and Red Velvet were training under the tutelage of William Regal and Bryan Danielson. Hopefully they continue to do it. Hopefully it's consistent, and hopefully they're not the only ones. See, with Jade, right, being the TBS champion, I've heard a lot of things. Some are chauvinistic, some are racial, some are honest, some are just picking on her, to be honest. Now, she is green. She admits she's green. She says she's green like money. I hate that statement. Y'all know I hate that statement. You shouldn't be on TV, live, anything, saying you green, nothing. You shouldn't even say nothing like that. But she's very entertaining from how she looks, how she carries herself, the baddie section, Instagram. You can go to apply to be a baddie, the way she does things. Twitter, she is tearing Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, up on Twitter right now. Athena needs some help, because Jade is killing her on Twitter. Going back into it. Yeah, like with Jade, like a lot of people be like, oh, Jade needs work. And then it's just like, okay, well, I can sit here and I can admit that Jade needs some work. But Jade isn't the only one that needs work. A lot of the women in the division need help. Now, you have solid workers that can help women wrestle, like a Serena Deeb or Mercedes Martinez and stuff like that. You have some women that were actually on Dark, La Rosa Negra, ladies like that are solid, that can help women. I don't know if they have a certain women, because WWE has a woman that trains the women to try to help them, and then Finley helps as well. But you do have some people that can actually help these women become more solid, because sometimes they do look like a deer in headlights and stuff. WWE has the moments too, though. Let's not forget that WWE definitely has their moments. It took a while. Liv Morgan grew on me, because when she was in NXT with Aaliyah, yo, it was kind of painful to watch, but she's become her own. So shout out to Liv Morgan. I'm hearing Aaliyah is going back to NXT or going back to the thing because they feel like she's not ready. I hope if she continues to want to wrestle, she does get better, because I don't want her on the chopping block. But somebody says she's been wrestling for 10 years. So Now, I'm just saying this because y'all be like, oh well, you just talking about them. No, let's be honest. Like the debate was Becky said that WWE had better women wrestlers, and people got upset with that and disagreed. And I'm like, she's kind of right. I think Thunder Rosa, she does pretty good as a competitor. Brandy, not Brandy. Britt Baker, she grew up and developed into a great heel character and stuff like that. Like you have promises and stuff like that. Jade just needs more polish, needs more practice and stuff, but so does Velvet, so does Anna Jay, so does Kira Hogan, so does a lot of these people that be on TikTok all the time. Now, you're a grown person, so you can be on TikTok, click clock, nonstop, hip hop, flip flop if you want to, but it's just like, man, sometimes I just wish to see passion. And that's even in WWE. I want to see a passion. Like that's why I liked that Fatal 4-Way at Forbidden Door with Malachi, Miro, Connors, and Pac, because they looked like they had a passion. They looked like they came out there with something to prove. They didn't just want to look like wrestlers. They wanted to be wrestlers, and they wanted to feel like wrestlers and stuff like that. And it was like true grit to it. You get what I'm saying? That was something that I really enjoyed. And even I enjoyed Cassidy and Will Ospreay very much so too. But I'm just saying, you have to look and carry yourself like a wrestler. You have to look like you want to be there. Don't just do it because you can. You have to have some kind of intensity to it. And that's something that I had to work on for the longest, because you want to look like a wrestler. A wrestler shouldn't be just, you can be a nice person, but you shouldn't be that nice and stuff like that. And with the women aspect of it, I just see just women, not all, but I just see just a lot of them just there just to be happy to be there. And then you can even go on to independence, and some go get lazy because they're not at their main place of employment and they don't even do 100%. So that's a good take on that. Like I said, no shade to nobody. What's another one? I hate. Well, I don't want to say I hate. I dislike. I made a video about this. I dislike the sports entertainment. I dislike the sports entertainment argument. Let me know if y'all hear me good. I know it's few people here looking. I hate the argument of sports entertainment. And this not even a real take from the fans or bloggers. It be wrestlers that be saying this. And I'm like, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to go somewhere with that, because you have to have a form of sports entertainment to be a part of wrestling. Now, Hidden Door was very, very good. It was a very good show. But some guys had personality, and some people was like, you got to remind me what their name is. What's that?
It's these. Mom said to give them to you.
Throw them away. I don't need them. Just throw them away. I don't know why. Why are you giving them to me if they already broke? I can't do nothing with that. Anyway, sorry about that. Going back into it, some of those guys were very talented and stuff like that, and they were legit and stuff like that. But some of them, I really did have to go back to see who they was, because I didn't see a personality or something like that. I'm not sitting here saying you got to be funny or be hilarious and stuff like that, but it's like you cannot say that AEW just has wrestlers and not entertainment when you have Orange Cassidy, who had match of the night for many people against Will Ospreay, and you have Danhausen, who's walking around cursing people and who's actually becoming a very popular wrestler. I mean, very well, if you want to say, I heard he wrestled, I heard he decent, but I'm saying that you hear people saying stuff about sports entertainment, but AW has one. You even have Chris Jericho being a parody to entertainers and sports entertainers and stuff like that. So that's the thing about the irony in sports entertainment. Now, the funny thing is, as I'm backdoor talking about the thing about the trope of sports entertainment, was that when Bryan Danielson said that he had a replacement to go against Zack Sabre Jr., a lot of people knew and felt that it was going to be Claudio Castagnoli, aka Cesaro, and stuff like that. But I also heard rumors and people were hoping that it was going to be this guy, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, aka Wyatt 6, and stuff like that. And on my Facebook yesterday, I said, is Bray Wyatt a wrestler or is he a sports entertainer? And one of my homies, Matt, said yes. And it was funny, but it's the truth. You know, a lot of people were upset with WWE because of what they've done to Bray Wyatt, and they felt that he should have had like a monster push, and he should have been this, and he should have been that. But when you think about it, it was his character that was larger than life. It wasn't his move set. I mean, he's changed his move set a little bit to complement the character, but when you actually compare his move set to when he was Husky Harris, it's kind of the same except a few things, just a few, not a lot. So it's like when y'all said that AEW has wrestlers and not sports entertainers, but you really wanted to see this guy show up. Did you think he was just gonna show up like this? Did y'all really thought that he was gonna pull up like this? Like, you know, did y'all really care about him that much that y'all would support him if he came out like this? No, y'all would want him to be Wyatt Six or whatever name he wants to be and stuff like that. And it's not even a confirmation on if he signed there or not. But a lot of us remember Husky Harris. Y'all wasn't checking for Husky Harris when Husky was Harrison and Harris was Husky. Y'all wasn't checking for him. But he did evolve himself, and he did become something that is a very popular wrestler to people. Now, I'm not a big fan of his moveset, but he's a very popular wrestler, and people are really waiting to see where he goes. And I'm happy that I don't want to say like just stopped as in like gave up or anything like that, but he didn't just straight go to another company and stuff like that. Now there's a lure to him. There's an aura. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go back to WWE? Is he going to the independents? Is he going to another company and stuff like that? That is just a interesting thing and an interesting concept that a lot of people want him. And even how even Malachi Black went with, you know, him dressing like Pan and the devil and stuff like that, and how he do certain things with mist and all of this stuff and lights going off and on and stuff like that. It's just sports entertainment. So that was one of the things that I've talked about previously. So I don't want to really harp on that. Another thing is, you know, I be wanting the best for wrestlers, right? So if they do get released, one, that sucks because you're losing income, but two, you can bounce back. But also you can sit down and rebuild or reflect or therapy, rehab, anything that you need to do. You can do a whole bunch of things to take care of yourself or whatever like that. So that's what I'm for. But as soon as somebody leave one company, you need to be signed and go to this other company because they're going to push you and they're going to give you a title and they're going to know how to treat you. And like I said, I'm not crapping on this company. Y'all know I'm not. But we got to be honest. Y'all have so many people that debuted and stuff like that. And Keith Lee was like one of the ones. And Swerve was one of them ones. Like a lot of people was like, they're going to be treated a lot better. Now, we can sit here, to be fair, we can sit here and say it's a little early. But at the same time, they're on pre-shows and stuff like that. Hidden Door would have been a great time to see them go against a tag team from New Japan, my opinion. You had a lot of tag team matches. You had 6-man matches and stuff like that. I thought that would have been good. Heck, you could even had Swerve to Your Glory, whatever their name is, going against Team Taz. You didn't have Starks. Like, why are y'all not putting Starks on the card? Like, Starks is money. Like, why is Ricky Starks not on the card? I don't know. I don't understand. Why ain't Willie Hobbs? Why isn't Will Power? Why is he not on the card? So these are the things that were issues at another company too, saying this they should push this person, they should treat this person and stuff like that. But it's like a lot of the people, they lose championship matches and they don't win the title. And that's why I say I don't be like they need to go to this company ASAP, because this company already has stuff that they're doing. And there's not a lot of companies that's just going to push everything to the side to put a title. Some will though, not all. Some will, but not all. But that's just how I feel about the situation. It's just like, I just hate when people just be like, you know, like you feel like, you know, GM mode is very popular in the 2K games and the wrestling games and even in sports games. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of people feel like they need to do this. They know what's best for people's career. And that's mad disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't really sit here and say that kind of stuff. You know, you just got to really like support them, you know, be there for them, buy their merch or whatever, follow them on social media and stuff like that. That kind of stuff works. But you can't sit here and think just because they go to another company, they're going to be treated better. And then when people actually go on social media and bring this up, people get mad and they get upset. Oh, well, long-term storytelling. That's the excuse. I don't want to say excuse, but I could be wrong, but I believe talent may be afraid if they want to sign, they may be forgotten by the fans. That's also, Jamie, that's actually a good response. I don't think they're going to be forgotten, no. It depends, because a lot of people still talk about Bray or whatever he calls himself now. They still talking about Wyatt. They're still talking about Rotundo. They're still talking about him. You know, if Sasha doesn't come back, I don't know if the rumors are true or not. That's going to be another take, too. Well, this washing machine is going crazy. But anyway, can't believe I got to do this with the washing machine on. Anyway, if Sasha want to take a year off, I don't think people are going to forget who she is. If anybody who, especially in the main event or whatever, they could take that break if they want to. As far as like other people, maybe, yeah. I know some people, they go exactly to the independent scene, like as soon as they get released and they're 30, 60, or 90 days up, they for sure they go to independence because they don't want to be forgotten and stuff like that. You have people like Fandango, Dirty Dango. I know he's retired now, but then like Matt Cardona, who's made a name for himself on the independent scene and stuff like that. You have a lot of people that do certain things because you're right. Some people don't want to be forgotten. Some people want to be booked. You know, as soon as you get released from WWE and you can be on a flyer, I'm so upset about this drive. I can't believe this is on. But anyway, sometimes people want to hurry up and get booked to get that money because as soon as they put you on the flyer, it's going to say formerly known as a former WWE superstar. That's going to sell tickets and stuff. When Braun Strowman got released, what's his name, Titan now, when he started doing shows in Wisconsin and other spots, it started being money makers because a lot of people, regardless of how you feel about his take on life and stuff like that, a lot of people wanted to see Braun Strowman. A lot of people remembered him. This was a larger-than-life athlete. This is a huge guy. Just like you can't not miss him, like how big this guy is and stuff like that. So this is the crazy thing about it is that some people do that because some weren't a main eventer or some just want to make money and stuff like that. You know, some people are living from check to check and stuff. I'm not trying to count people money and stuff like that, but with the reality of the economy, that's what it is. Thank y'all for rocking with me with all this noise. I'm irritated about this noise. Lives at 5:30. As far as Forbidden Door, maybe it should have been a 2-night event because of so much talent. I disagree with that, Jamie, because I'm not even a big fan of WrestleMania being on 2 nights. You know, they had a lot of matches. Forbidden Door did. They could have had I don't want to say main guys, but let's say like new rookie guys. They could have had them show up on like Dynamite or like Rampage or something to show like a small showcase or something. I don't think they need to do a 2-night event. I don't think WrestleMania should be a 2-night event, but as a businessman, I commend what WWE is doing because everybody knows that WrestleMania weekend is a mecca for wrestling companies to do shows around WrestleMania. Like in Dallas, it was Dallas this year, right? So a lot of companies had shows in Dallas and stuff, and you go around because some people want to see these wrestlers, these independents, and sometimes people want to support that. Oh, well, I want to watch this, then I could go to WrestleMania. So WWE was like, you know what? I'm going to do 2 nights. So most likely if you bought a ticket to night 1, you're going to buy a ticket to night 2. So you're not going to go to some of these companies. Now, some people are anti-WWE, and they are going to go to as many companies as possible. But yeah, as far as the 2-night event goes, I don't think that would have been a great thing for it. I think that they could have had somewhat of a better build up, but I do know that, they're in Japan. So definitely hard for travel wise. And some of these people have families and stuff like that. So that's how I feel about that. But yeah, man, honestly, I'm going to probably end this early because this stuff is so loud. But yeah, that's just one of those things. It's just like, okay, if you like AEW, that's cool. If you like WWE, that's cool. If you watch both, that's cool. If you like one more than the other, that's fine. But even if you have an opinion, that's fine. You have an opinion for it. The issue is when you try to make people agree with your opinion, and they might just disagree. You know, a lot of people was loving AEW. Some people still love AEW and stuff like that. And then some people are like, nah, this wasn't what they promoted. You know, they promoted a lot of stuff that they have not promoted. They haven't put on yet. You get what I'm saying? They haven't. You know, a lot of people are upset with WWE because they took them a while to have representation on TV and stuff like that. And some people they like some of the representation that happens in AEW, and some people don't. You know, that's just a part of wrestling. You know, I think that both of these companies they all have an agenda, and when a lot of people realize that not just wrestling, just in life, you understand that these people don't have your best interest at heart. It's just you're just doing something because somebody says something, or it's a certain thing, or a certain area, a certain time, a certain thing, and stuff like that. You know, with AEW, I do feel like it is the same. Now, it is good to see a lot of people that deserve the spotlight, and then it is good to even see people on Dark because I don't think that Dark is as bad as a lot of people make it seem. Even though AEW wrestlers themselves make fun of people who do wrestle on Dark, but that's not here or there. That's what happens. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm 100% correct on everything, and I always say that these are my opinions, and nobody's asking me to say them. I'm not working for a company except my own company. So a lot of people get upset with that. Thank you. Oh God, thank you. Thanks, Jamie. You too. But yeah, I'll just be honest how I feel about a certain situation, and then if some people feel like I'm wrong or they don't like my take, they'll tell me how they feel. They say they disagree or they agree, or here's how I feel and stuff like that. I'm not here to just argue and disrespect people and stuff like that. You have a lot of people that do that. No, I don't have time for that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to really speak about. Friday, we're probably going to do an open panel. So it's going to be open. I'm going to put the StreamYard link so we can talk about wrestling and stuff. This holiday weekend, I am spending time with family again. Thank God and stuff like that. Thank God for my family and stuff. But yeah, this noise is really blowing me right now. So make sure you guys get ready for Appleton when we go to Runaway Train July 23rd. It's going to be a great show. Look at all those great athletes. Make sure, and then a week after that is Kingdom Come. So I hope you guys are having a good evening. Tune in to the open panel. We're going to have more stuff to talk about. Some wrestlers probably going to hopefully get online and stuff like that. I'll put the link up and we'll talk and everything like that. This is Chris Classic. I'm so sorry I got to cut it short, but this noise is killing me. Let's take it home.